So good morning everyone, how you doing? I hope you're well. Wherever you are in the world, I hope you're doing well and you're taking care of yourself, and you obviously very disciplined in making sure that you take care of yourself and your family. Safety is very important right now. I'm recording this for two reasons. One is I want to applaud our president, the president of Uganda. He did a fantastic job, demonstrated a very high degree of leadership yesterday in his speech, and the Minister of Health, Honorable Ruth Acheng. That was fantastic. I think for me, my biggest observation was the calmness. You know, he was very calm, very composed, and he spoke of things that any sort of layman on the street would understand. And that's leadership. Right now, at this point in our lives, all over the world, we're looking for steadfast leadership. Someone or people or a group of people that will actually assure people that things are going to be all right. And they are going to be all right. You know, we're going to be okay. This thing will pass. A couple of things I really liked. I like the reference to 1 Genesis 26:28, where God gives, he says, we're going to make man in our likeness, and he will take dominion over the earth, you know, including creeping things, you know, which is the coronavirus, you know. So we are in charge. This is a mosquito sort of against an elephant type of situation. So we have to be vigilant. We have to be very, very organized. I'm off to the office right now, but I've taken precautions, you know. I want to make sure that everybody in my circle, if you like, is very safe. It's very important that you keep the people around you very safe, and you're very honest, and you test those that need to be tested. You work with the authorities to ensure that you're disciplined and you're organized. If you don't have to do any work in the office, please stay home. If you're going to go home, hopefully you have a use of a car that will take you to the office and back, and watch and trace your steps. But there's a couple of things I want to point out. One of the things that's really key, I posted a picture of my toothbrush, and somebody asked me, well, what's that about? You know, let me tell you something. One of the things the minister said yesterday, Honorable Ruth Acheng said that, or I believe one of her colleagues mentioned that the coronavirus will last longer on plastic than any other thing. And that's really important. A friend of mine from Israel sent me a video yesterday, how this thing can easily be passed from one person to another. And it's so easy. And remember, we brush our teeth twice a day. Some of us do, some of us 3 times a day. Now, if it has a lifespan of 9 hours on plastic, just please pay attention and take a moment and think about this. If you go out there and you don't wash your hands, you don't sanitize, and you come home and you're tired, and you pick up your toothbrush and off you go, you know, all hell can break loose. That's the beginning, you know, because you're taking the stuff, you're putting it in your mouth, and of course, that's the quickest way to contract this condition. And we have to take lessons from the Chinese. Chinese have completely and drastically removed the fear from their public, and they're actually handling it right now. One of the things that I know about Chinese people, I've spent time in China, I've worked with Chinese people for years. They're very disciplined, very, very, very disciplined. So we need to pick that up. We need to learn from the Chinese. And I finish on this. There's a story about Ignace Semmelweis, who was a young doctor in Vienna in a hospital. This is in 1840, I believe, in the 19th century. And he discovered that lots of people were dying from childbed. Lots of people were either dying giving birth, or the kids were dying after birth. And it was happening more so on the doctor's wing than the midwife's wing. So they tried everything. They said it was crowding, it was all kinds of different things. And what they found is that the doctors weren't actually washing their hands. They were, you know, he discovered that the thing that was killing these people on the doctor's wing was that there was no hygiene. They were not washing their hands. So he introduced the use of chlorine or chlorinated solution to wash their hands, and that completely wiped out the problem. And he was persecuted for it. You know, people mentioned, you don't know what you're talking about. He was if you like, he was a minority. He was Hungarian by background, and he had no business, talking about things like that. So I liken it to what the president said yesterday. He said, I mobilized a bunch of villagers to overthrow a government that had barracks and all this armory that they had. It just takes one to realize and understand and appreciate that as a collective, if we're disciplined, if we're vigilant, if we wash our hands properly, and we wash the tips of our hands, and we wash everything like a surgeon, I'm telling you, we have an opportunity to beat this thing. So be careful, be safe, and listen, there's so many opportunities in this. Be a solution provider, not a problem stater. Go and think about how you can help the community beat this thing, and in the process you can monetize that. There's no harm in making money whilst you're helping other people. There's going to be lots of things. We're doing it in our business. We deliver food to people. We deliver fantastic food that's loaded with lots of nutrients, so you can boost your immune system. We deliver, the best cooking system in the world. And yes, I'm being commercial in this message, but listen, it's for a purpose, because I know that the solutions we provide, they do work, so if you continue to look for ways to help other people, you can actually, not only contribute, but also contribute to your family and to your well-being as well. Have a fantastic day. Be safe. Be safe. Lose your mind.